Hello and welcome back, most illustrious members of the Detail. I'm your host D, also known as MTF Doom, and today we are going to do a deck tech for not quite a movement deck. I hope you enjoy. Before we get into it, call to action, we are shooting for 500 subscribers. We're going to go 500. We are, as always, making leaps and bounds. It's incredible, the growth of this channel. I thank my longtime viewers, some of which are just new subscribers. I always love seeing comments like, hey, I've seen your stuff before. I finally decided to subscribe. But, because of this video, your video quality has fundamentally improved over time, is, I think, the implicit thing they're saying, which is great. I love hearing that. So today we are playing, it's not a movement deck. Very importantly, it isn't really a movement deck. This is inspired by a deck that, again, friend of the channel and Discord user Grackleflint has been seeing results with. This deck, I think, is different enough from his. I'm giving him credit for giving me the idea, though he plays like Shuri and some of the goblins, and we're not really doing that with this. But we are ultimately playing Heimdall. But we're trying not to give up the game that we are playing Heimdall, because that's the worst situation to be in, is your opponent goes, oh, they're playing Heimdall. Like, you don't want to be in a position where your opponent goes, yes, my opponent is about to play Heimdall, because then you're going to lose. Or your opponent's going to retreat, because they're going to go, well, I know how to do math, so either I win or I don't. So, without further ado, this is the deck. It's a location control deck. We are using Storm, Spider-Man, and to a lesser extent, Scarlet Witch. Best card in the game. You should be playing Scarlet Witch, by the way. We're going to lock out some amount of locations with Storm and sneakily be able to get in anyway with either by iron fisting something in to it, by Captain Marveling at the end of the game, or obviously by Heimdall at the end of the game, or turn 6. We are running some amount of disruption. So again, okay, so we Storm. We don't have the traditional follow-ups because we have non-traditional follow-ups. Traditional follow-ups being like either Juggernaut or Jessica Jones. We don't run those. But we do have Polaris to, if they try to contest or if they've already started contesting, to yoink something out of that lane, and it can just change the math just enough. We obviously have Iron Fist to put something into the lane later. And a follow-up that is equal to, and in some ways better than Jessica Jones, is on 4 going 3 Storm, going 4 Iron Fist into Vulture, and Vulture will pop left into the flooding lane and become a 3/8. So it's the same power as Jessica Jones, right, which was the traditional follow-up, but you also deployed a 2 power 1 cost in a different lane, and also it means that next turn your Miles Morales is only 1 cost. So you have a 1/5 to play with on turn 5, which is really good. The other really big thing to keep in mind is being able to Iron Fist Spider-Man. So if you're a little bit ahead in a lane and you don't want to commit the 3 power there because you're already a little bit ahead, you can go Iron Fist and then Spider-Man. Spider-Man will sploosh that lane, but then move to the left. And so you will, you'll be able to basically lock that lane out on turn 5. And you want to play Spider-Man on 5 in general, not 4. So it works out really well with Iron Fist to be able to lock them out of a lane on 5 and also have not committed power there, or not committed 3 power there, because maybe you need more, but you don't want to, like, there's a lot of reasons for it. But the point is, it's just an interesting thing you can do. We have Iceman just to round out our sort of control package, because we're going Iceman, Scorpion. Our cards are kind of low power in a lot of ways. We have to rely on being tricksy and we really do need Vulture to move once. We don't really need him to move twice. Like a 3/8 is quite good. That's good enough usually to play a tempo game. We don't have Shang, So the Shuri list can be pretty hard, especially because we don't, if we can't arrow them, which usually you can't because they're gonna go like Shuri 4, Skip 5, She-Hulk Taskmaster 6 is like a very optimal play for them. So like you can arrow on 6 and force both of those into one lane sometimes and win that way, but in general just having a storm like come out is sometimes going to do it for you. Being able to Spider-Man one of the lanes might do it for you, but we don't have Shang, which is really like how you'd win that matchup. We just don't have it. We don't have room for it. Captain Marvel is maybe the weakest of the cards here, but I really like, especially if you're like a little late, you're storming on 4, following it up with Captain Marvel, and it's like, well, either this 8 power wins it, or the 2 power just from Storm won it, and Captain Marvel can go do something else. Yeah, I don't know. Being able to Heimdall and have, if one of your lanes fills and kind of overkills, Captain Marvel can escape that lane and go do something else. I really like this card in this list. The list is really good. It's really sneaky. It's really disruptive. It can prey on the fact that the stones need the Thanos deck needs a lot of space for stones by doing the Spider-Man and Storm stuff. So I really like that aspect of it. But it does not have general use tech cards. So it loses. It's weird because it kind of loses to fair decks. As I've been playing it, I've been losing to other like decks that are just kind of trying to put stats out, and those decks are always going to be kind of popular. So just be on the lookout for that. The deck has a lot of it has a lot to learn. It has a lot of idiosyncrasies and intricacies that are really genuinely really fun to learn. But there's a lot to learn with this deck. I would not pick it up if you haven't played with Heimdall before. This is not really the place to learn. Maybe, I don't, it's weird. You should try Heimdall in Pool 2. But if you're an entrenched player and you're willing to give it a try, this deck can be a ton of fun. It really is it's a lot of fun. And it gives Heimdall a place to shine that, I love being wrong. I've told you this before. The only reason I talk about Scarlet Witch so much is because I was wrong about her. I stand by what I said with Heimdall. Like, he's very bad in the move deck, but in a deck like this where it's not telegraphed that you're actually trying to move anything except Vulture, I think he's much better. I don't think a lot of people put you on Heimdall. Vulture is also a 3, so if your opponent Magnetos, Vulture moves, and that's bad for them. So it's Magneto tech. I don't know how many people Magneto's not like a menace right now, but it is worth keeping in mind. It's very funny. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for engaging with the content. If you find it elucidating, enlightening, or enriching, then down below, click the buttons, do all the things. Join the Discord. We haven't had a new Discord member in a couple of days because I haven't been asking people to join. It's really funny how one-to-one it is of me asking people to subscribe and join the Discord and getting subscribers and Discord joiners. It's like you feel like it doesn't work, and then every time you don't do it, you're like, oh no, wait, that's what was doing it. So join the Discord if you find this, if you just want to hang out, right? Form a parasocial relationship. Those are always healthy. I've been your host, DLson, with MTF Doom. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.